Hello and welcome, my name's Just You, and today we're going to be checking out this amazing backpack mod for Fabric, and we are going to be changing the models from the item generated textures on the back to something that's a little bit more fancy and renders in 3D models. I am not taking credit for this mod, obviously. It's made by Drayler, who is amazing at mod making, so definitely check out his profile. And I just want to reiterate to start with. So the only files that I've changed are these ones here. These are the texture files to go with them, and the frayed backpack and the withered backpack in this recipes folder. And the work that Drayler has done is all of this, and it's no easy feat to get this sort of stuff done. So absolute credit goes to him for making this mod possible. So to get started, if we head back to the mods page, so you can download any version of the mod now with the GitHub repository that I made. So we're going to do 1.18.2. Okay, so once that's downloaded, I've gone ahead and put it in my mods folder for Fabric. So going back to this page, you'll see that there's a GitHub repository link that I've added, and I'll also put that in the description of this video. This is for the Java file for the retextured. So you can just go ahead and download that straight away, or if you'd like to apply the textures manually yourself, you can go to the raw files branch, and there's a list of the instructions of how to install it, but I'll just go through and show you how to do that exactly. So once you've opened up this WinRAR file, you'll see in here you have the Inmis retextured file and then the assets and data. So what you want to do then is go back to your mods folder, and if you have WinRAR installed, you can actually open the jar file with WinRAR. All you need to do is just drag these files and put them straight into there and hit OK, and that's it. So if we just load up Minecraft now, alright, and now just like that we have the new textures and models applied, and you can see that if I put it on the back, it is rendered correctly. So how can you do this yourself? Let's just take a quick look at this file structure for the retextured backpack. So if we just go to assets, models, items, this is where the Blockbench models are held, and you can see that they're made with Blockbench, and as long as this points to the texture for the corresponding backpack, and then you won't have any issues. So if we just go back to there, the textures items, you can see that this is where all the PNG files are held for it, the textures. And then this of course is just the recipes. I did include all of them just in case, but realistically it's only this one and the withered one that you actually need. So if we just hop into Blockbench now and open up the model for one of the backpacks and see what we're working with. So as you can see there, we've got the model files for it, and we're going to use the baby backpack, for example. So I'm going to do a quick time lapse of making a backpack. I'm probably going to make one that's a little bit more sportsy, more slanted sort of thing. And at the end we'll see about texturing it. Alright, so now we've got the general backpack model. This one's a little bit more simpler than the last one that we made. And the next thing that you want to do is you want to put everything in a group, just so when it comes to texture in it, it's all nice and neat that way. I suppose we could just do it like that. There we go. So we don't actually need this, but we need to make sure that the name is correct that we're going to be replacing. So we can get rid of this. And then we want to go to Paint, select the group, create texture, change whatever resolution you want. I usually go for about 6428 roughly. And then just start painting away. So I'm going to make this a little bit darker and change the element so it does it all. And then for the basic colour, I'm just going to do like a grey. So now you've got the all coloured up. I'm just going to leave it like this for now for this demonstration. But you can always come back and edit it as well. And you can also edit the texture as well and put more detail in that. You can add more blocks to this and make it look more detailed. The next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure it actually looks correct in our hand. So this is quite small to hold in your hands, so if I remember rightly, when I made the last model it was rather large in the edit, which is the reason why I put everything at 0.5, because don't forget we are using the original model file for it, and you just kind of, you know, make it look like he's holding it. So do that for the next side as well. Just make it look like the straps are holding, kind of. There we go. And this is what the first person would look like in both left and right. That looks a bit funky. Let's change the size. Might look a little bit better being 0.5. And then resize it so it's not so squished. So if we do that at 0.7 then, and then do the same for this side, 0.5, 0.7, 0.5. And you can also change it so it looks like it's on your head as well. This doesn't mean that it's going to be put on your back. So the way that the mod is developed is an item frame put there. So if you see that it's in the item frame, and this needs, you know, scaling up probably to about 3. But you can imagine that this is the player's back, and then the straps come forward. So you want it kind of like there. Maybe that's a bit wrong. Might be a bit wrong. But we can play around with this loaded into the game. But you might need to, you know, modify this a little. Keep tinkering around with it until you get it right, looking like on the player. And then, of course, this is what it looks like on the ground. Just make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And then, of course, in the UI, and like I said, the item frame's the important one. Alright, so now we can save this. We want to save model, and we want to save the PNG in textures, items, and we edited the baby backpack, so it's this one that we want to edit. And save, yes, we want to override it. Sweet, there we go. So now if we go back to the mods folder, and again open this with WinRAR. Okay, and if we go back to the retextured file setup, you can see in assets, textures, items, we've got that new baby backpack file. And if we just go back to the models, items, baby backpack, you can see that it still points to the correct place. What we want to do now is we can just drag these two files over, but we also need the file structure, so it's better just to do it like that, and press OK, and then back into Minecraft. Alright, and we find ourselves back in Minecraft, and let's see if it worked. There we go. It looks a little bit janky in the UI, but that doesn't matter, it's only an example. And let's see what it looks like on a backpack, on a bag. As you can see, it looks rather large. So yeah, you'll need to mess around with that item frame placement, maybe make it a little bit smaller than what it is, but you get the general idea. But as you can see, just mess around with that item frame placement, maybe make it a little bit smaller, and I hope you found this useful, and maybe like and subscribe. I don't know when I'll upload again. And I'll leave a link for the GitHub page where you can download the jar and the raw files straight from there. And again, don't forget to check out Drailer's profile. He's made some amazing mods, truly amazing mods. And like I say, I can't take credit for making this. I've literally just edited a couple of files and a couple of textures. He's done all the hard work.